Before we start, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends so it reaches more people. This supports us in bringing you many more videos. Thank you so much. The movie begins with Cass in the car with her boyfriend Mac. They were going out to change the scenery and get away from the city. The place they were heading to is a house in the middle of the forest, and Max is the one who rented it. They were going to arrive at night, and then they reached the place where they would spend their vacation. As soon as they got out, they found a strange guy standing in front of the house. Max said to him, "We rented this house." The young man appeared suspicious and spoke in an annoying manner, saying, "That's not how it is. We're the ones who rented it, and our stuff is inside." Cass said, "Okay, we're going to call the owner of the house." He replied, "No need to call anyone. There's no reception here at all." Max said to him, "Hey man, do you want us to leave in the middle of the night? Let's just sleep here tonight and figure things out tomorrow." But he refused. Suddenly a girl came out from inside and told them, "Stay here tonight." Max was happy and quickly agreed, but Cass refused and was scared of these two. She didn't trust them. Max tried to convince her from every angle, but she remained firm. He said to her, "Okay, my dear, do whatever makes you comfortable. You just don't like driving at night, and I've warned you, but the rest is up to you." Cass said to him, "Okay, I've changed my mind. This is an adventure, and I want to experience it with you." They both entered the house together. Max started exploring and was amazed by everything. Cass asked them, "Where are we going to sleep?" Greta replied, "There are only 2 rooms. One for us, and the other belongs to the homeowner and is closed. So you two need to find somewhere to sleep," Cass told Max. "I'm going to get the bags from the car." Greta followed her and said, "I'll help you." Then she started chatting with her. "How long have you been together?" Cass answered, No, you're mistaken. He's not my husband. We're just living in the moment. No marriage or anything. I've tried marriage once, but when I had the chance, I left it. Now Max and I have known each other for a year. We want to see if we can be comfortable with each other before we think about marriage." Once they entered the house, Max was just looking around and found an old love game, and he seemed excited to play it. He said, "I want to play." Cass added, Me too." So the 4 of them started playing. It was Cass's turn, and the question was, "How did you meet your boyfriend?" She answered, "He was my student, and he was going through a tough time, unable to express what he felt. He stayed silent for 6 weeks, and then he gathered his courage and came to me, saying he liked me. I was coming out of a failed relationship, and when I saw him in front of me, I didn't hesitate. Since that day, we've been together, despite the age difference." But Cass noticed that Greta and Max seemed to have a connection, and were only talking to each other. Cass didn't like it and became jealous, saying, "I'm tired. I want to sleep." Greta replied, "Go sleep in our bedroom. We still want to stay up and play." Indeed, Cass went into the bedroom, but she was upset and boiling inside. The next morning, she woke up and didn't find Max beside her. She got very scared and was afraid Greta had taken him away. She went out looking for them, but she didn't find anyone. She went into the woods and started searching until she found Max's cap lying on the ground. She knew the cap was very important to him, so she kept calling out his name as she walked through the forest. Finally, she saw a young man crying, so she went up to him and said, "What's wrong? Where's Max? I can't find him." She said to him, "Look, the 2 of them went together. I found them in the forest, and they were in a situation where I shouldn't lower my manners with you. Understand what I mean? When I had an argument with Max, Greta told him that she wouldn't let him go, and she grabbed him and took him away." Cass was shocked and said to him, "What is this? How could this happen?" He replied, "How? Do you want me to show you the pictures? I saw them with my own eyes." Cass was further shocked and returned home, looking for him again, but she didn't find him, nor did she find his bag. She left the house and went back to her city. She went to visit her old friend, who stayed and started philosophizing about it. "Look, you need to search for the girl who stole him from you. For example, if my husband cheated on me, I wouldn't rest until I knew who took his mind. What does she have that I don't?" Cass responded, "To be honest, I'm not interested, especially since my relationship with Max at the end wasn't good." But when her friend left, the devil started playing in her mind. She went to Google to look for Greta, but she didn't know her full name, and nothing came up. She remembered the address of the house that Max had rented and began looking for it until she found the owner's number. She called him and said, "The girl who rented the house before us forgot a book, and I want to know her address to return it to her." The owner refused and said, "I'm the one who takes from you, and I'm the one who delivers it to her. These are client secrets." He gave her the address of the plant shop where she worked. When she went there, she started to hesitate and act like she was looking for something, until a customer came in and complained to her saying, "The plant I bought from you died," and she refunded his money. The owner of the house saw her weakness and said to her, "What is this?" "This is Louisa's flower. It's very rare and I want it." The customer overheard the conversation and got heated, saying, "No, this is mine." And they began to bid on the price until it reached $50, which is a very large amount. Cass thanked him for what he did for her. Then she asked him, "Where is the book?" He replied, "Look, to be honest, there's no book. The matter is that I wanted to reach this girl. I want to understand why she did this. And since I let you come all the way here for nothing, let me invite you for a coffee." They went together and she started telling him her story with Max and said, "I want Greta's number. I need to understand why she did this." He replied, "If you take this step and contact her, the matter might not end up being what." A person entered, and since he knew Barlow, he said, "I've been looking for you for a long time." Cass knew that Barlow had a big tech company, but he had abandoned it, even though they were about to enter a highly profitable deal. Barlow excused himself, saying he needed to go. However, later, Cass called him again and kept asking about him, saying she thought about his words and that communicating with Greta wouldn't yield results. She asked for her address. Barlow surprised her and said, "Consider it yours. I'll come with you and help you reach her." They waited for Greta outside a place filled with strange murals. Cass asked Barlow why he left his profitable company. He replied, "My father passed away before I signed the deal. He was sick, and I couldn't watch him suffering without helping. After I left the hospital, I saw many young people destroying their lives with drugs. It broke my heart, especially since my father died. And since then, I've distanced myself from technology." Soon they saw Greta coming out, and they followed her into a crowded place. Cass saw a man sitting on a chair and asked, "Can I come in?" He replied no and asked if she had a son or daughter there. Embarrassed, she said no. By coincidence, when Greta came out talking on the phone, she apologized to Cass, saying, "When I found Max, I couldn't believe it because he's more suitable for me than you." But when her phone fell, Cass saw a picture of her with Max, confirming that he had abandoned her for Greta. Shocked, she left, and Barlow tried to comfort her, sharing about his late wife, saying, "She was the love of my life. Since then, I've lived alone." Cass began to relax a bit and opened up to him, asking, "You said your father's illness is hereditary? Have you checked on yourself?" He replied, "I have the same illness, but I'm working on treatment related to blood transfusion." They chatted for a while before they went back. Max was sitting with Cass and her friends, but he was not enjoying the atmosphere. Their conversation and laughter annoyed him. He looked uncomfortable. When he tried to change the mood, Cass teased him in front of her friends, saying, "Max is just like little kids. He only likes trivial things." He got upset and said, "I'm going to buy something and come back." He went to a supermarket and unexpectedly ran into Greta, hearing her talk about things they needed to buy quickly. Max was lost and unfocused, just wanting to escape routine. He approached them and said, "I want to be with you. I'd love to join your night out." Greta immediately responded without letting her companion speak, asking, "Are you willing to do anything to join us?" He said yes, and they went out together. All right, she kept being concerned about his life, and she suggested that he join them for a performance of the group. He started beating his hands on the drum as if he were singing, and someone hit him with a stick on his hand, and he wanted to remove it himself. She told him, "No, what are you doing? Don't take it off yourself. You'll pick up some germs. I'll remove it for you." And indeed, she took it off and put a bandage on it. He told her, "Now I'm with you." And they both agreed, and she gave him the address of the house where they were renting at the beginning of the film. When he returned home, he found Cass annoyed with him. He tried to lighten the mood, but Cass felt that the relationship between them was starting to fall apart, and she kept sensing the age difference, since each of them had a different mindset. To make up with her, he told her he had a surprise. "I've booked a house in the forest, far from people and noise. Get ready, we will travel in the morning." The next day, Greta and the man were waiting for him at the house. The man said to her, "I feel that the plan won't succeed. He definitely won't come here." But Greta was confident and said, "Can't you see? It's like dogs. I noticed how he looks at me." And she added, "I also noticed how you look at him." When they saw the car light, they were surprised to find out he was coming with someone. They asked him, "Who is this person you brought with you?" He told them, "I had to come with her because she's the one who will drive me in her car. She doesn't know anything. Don't worry." They reenacted the same scene they had at the beginning of the film. The next day when Cass left, he went running to Greta and told her, "The house is safe. It's gone." And the truth emerged that Greta had kidnapped Max, putting him in a barrel and taking a selfie with him. After that, she entered the house and began searching through the papers, finding a certain document and hiding it in her pockets. Back to the present, Cass was at home, bored, and decided to check on Barlow. She went back to the house where she was renting with Max at the beginning of the film. She started knocking on the door, but no one opened it for her. Before she could leave, the door opened, and Barlow came out, apologizing for the delay. She entered with him and saw him looking through the things that belonged to his father before he died. I felt cold, so I told her I would go out to get some firewood. She stayed in the house, but her curiosity wouldn't let her. She started opening books and looking at the pictures of Pablo with his son. But the surprise, the man in the picture wasn't Pablo. He looked like a young man with Greta. At this point, Casa was stunned and feeling confused. When she saw the door that was closed, she took the keys and opened it. Inside, she found Pablo's medical equipment. What happened next? Pablo returned home and found his son Max prepared in a barrel, as they wanted his blood for treatment. Pablo was shocked to see Max and refused and saying, "There's no way I'm doing what you have in mind." Max told him he didn't want to die and wanted treatment too. Greta said, "It's done. What's done is done." I don't know how we managed to trick Max and even convince his girlfriend that he cheated and ran away. Pablo was forced to take Max's blood to treat himself. At this moment, Casa was confused and overwhelmed. She saw a container in the woods from the window of the closed room. She went out to see what was inside. At the same time, Pablo was in the woods, going to see his son and his girlfriend. They were in the house at the time Casa was knocking on the door, which is why Pablo delayed opening it until they both hid. When Greta realized Casa hadn't left, she got angry and said to Pablo, "How could you leave her alone there?" And she ran to the house. When they arrived, they found the door to the room open and knew that Casa had uncovered their plan. In the woods, Casa managed to open the container and was shocked to find Max asleep and tied to medical devices drawing blood from him. Just before she could try to untie him, Pablo entered. He said to her, "If you solve it, he will die." I didn't want to do this. I was forced when I found my son and his girlfriend ready, Max. Cass started yelling at them. "What is this nonsense you are doing, you idiots?" Barlow told her. "I told you before, I need a blood transfusion constantly." Then Greta raised the paper she found and said to him, "You are a liar. You are not sick at all. You just want the blood to stay young." He was shocked and said to her, "Seriously? I did all this so you wouldn't die. And in the end, you just want to stay young?" He got even angrier with Greta because she knew this secret and kept it from him. He understood that Greta never really loved him. She just wanted to use him, that's all. Cass yelled at them, "And I was the one thinking Max deceived me and left me. And in the end, you both did this to him?" Greta responded, "Get over this nonsense. He doesn't even love you, and he seized the first opportunity to get away from you." Cass said to Barlow, "I want to stay young too. But this time let's take the blood from Greta." And since Barlow was starting to like Cass, he told his son to grab Greta, and indeed they caught her. Cass took the opportunity and took Max to escape. Barlow saw her and said to her, "I love you. We can get the treatment and live together." But the surprise, Max removed the devices they had placed on him, and unfortunately, he fell. Cass was in shock and hit him with that blood bottle. She quickly exited the container and locked them out. Then she went to her car. But later, she decided to live at Barlow's house because she actually loved solitude and wanted to be alone. And since no one knew where Barlow was, and people were still looking for him, the movie ended here. I hope you liked the summary. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.